Hello world, this is, what's today's date? June 9th, 2016. We're here at Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority, Larson Training Centers. I'm at Aqua, and we're doing another class in employment preparation, Google Apps, etc., preparing for the future. And so for the people who, most of the people here haven't been here before, and so I usually start by a little bit about who I am, what I do, why it's important, and what we're here to do today and why that's important. That's called framing the stakes. So why don't you write that down on your pieces of paper. And when you are doing your job, whether it's a job interview, whether it's a you're in front of a jury, you're about to start a trial, you have employees, you're a supervisor of, you want to frame the stakes. So let me ask you this question. If you don't know where you're going, what? What's the rest of that? If you don't know where you're going, what?
How do you know where you're going?
Okay, if you don't know where you're going, what?
You're making no progress.
If you don't know where you're going, what? This is a very famous ancient proverb, saying. Some people say Confucius said this. It's the kind of thing Confucius might say. If you don't know where you're going, what? Okay, any path will take you there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you don't know where you're going, any path will take you there. Why is that true, Julian?
He's putting me on the spot right.
Okay, so the main thing in life is not really what you know, it's what you can communicate. So I'm just going to jump around a little bit. So if you learn something and you don't remember it, what's that like?
Frustrating.
Huh?
It's frustrating.
Okay, it's like what?
Not learning.
It's like not learning. Think about it. If you learn something and you don't remember it, what is that like? Well, it's like not learning it. Okay? Now let's say you learn something and you know something, but you can't communicate it. What's that like?
Then you don't know it.
It's kind of like the same thing as not knowing it if you can't communicate it. And we, humans, are social animals. What does that mean to you, Kayla? Okay, we like to talk. We like to be around other people. Okay, we're not lone wolves. Some people are, but that's not, we're conditioned to be that way. That's not how we're brought up. We're conditioned to be in groups of people. And what's an important thing if you're in a group of people? What do you have to be able to do?
Networking.
Huh?
Communicate.
Okay. Communicate. I thought first you said networking.
I did.
Oh, you said, okay. So can you imagine cavemen networking?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Drawing or loud
Okay.
screaming.
So what was the caveman version of rock, paper, scissors? This is a joke. Rock, rock, rock. Right? Well, why? What's the joke? What's the joke, Lawrence?
There's just no caveman rock.
Because what? Yeah, they didn't have paper, scissors, so all they could play is rock, rock, rock. Okay. So communication is really just about as important as knowledge. So here, this is not about me trying to push information on you. It's trying to help you pull knowledge. And the important things, the only things that we can do, have time to do today here, is to get your brain open to the possibility that you need to make some changes in your behavior. Things, and it's not really you were doing it wrong, it's just you were never learned how to do it right. You know, if nobody shows you how to do things, you can't really, it's kind of hard to learn a lot, especially if you're never told it's your responsibility to learn. It's not your teacher's responsibility to give you knowledge. It's your responsibility to pull knowledge. And it's much safer in life if you become somebody who's able to learn to teach themselves than somebody who's not. So for example, if you think your teachers need to teach you, and we teach you how to do Word 10, what happens when Word 13 comes out? Office 13 comes out. What is your attitude?
I mean, you know the basics, it's just gonna be a couple things that vary.
What's your attitude though? If you are somebody who says you need to teach me Word 10, okay, we taught you Word 10. Now, or Office 10, Office 13 comes out, what's your default mode? If you're one of those people, what's your
Upset.
default mode?
Upset.
What are you expecting to happen?
Somebody to teach you that.
Exactly. Now you're expecting somebody to teach you Office 13, right? Because you grew up in this environment where people would always teach you. To be successful, you need to be somebody who learns. And that's called what? Okay, so write this down. Autodidactic. This is what you want to be in life. You want to be autodidactic, somebody who teaches themselves, somebody who learns on their own, somebody who figures it out. Back in the caveman days, you didn't really need to be autodidactic because things didn't change much. Are things changing now? Okay. Luke, what's one of the big things that's going to change in the next 5 years that we talked about last week?
Drones.
Correct, drones. Okay, when drones come out, everything's going to be different. I wouldn't waste my time on IT because you're just jumping on the ship that the smart people are jumping off of. I get involved in drones. Okay, what's one of the things that happened that we talked about with drones?
Drone golf.
Drone golf. Okay, what's a drone, Julian?
It's something that flies.
Okay,
It's a robot, like
a robot,
Yeah.
like Iron Man.
No, not like that.
Okay.
You're talking about it getting your mail and.
Yeah. So a drone, we've all seen drones, right? We all know what a drone is? Okay. Well, in the next few years, you're going to see drones changing everything. So one is package delivery. Another one is security guard companies. A drone can do in 3 minutes what a security guard does in 30 minutes. And a drone, somebody's down in a parking lot somewhere, drone flies in, looks around, makes sure there's no danger to itself, lands, camera and the microphone, try to find out why is this guy down? Are you shot, stabbed, drunk? What's going on? So then it can call what? Authorities, police, ambulance, the guy's wife, whatever. And so that's going to change everything. Also, all construction companies are going to use drones to make sure that OSHA safety requirements are met. Guys have their helmets on, they're doing safe things, which they don't really do now because why? Nobody's watching. So, parks, sports arenas, all kinds of places are going to have drones flying around, and we're going to accept it because what we're told is it's going to be safer. It's a safety thing. But how could it be used bad? What's bad?
It's almost bad.
Huh?
People can use it for
Spying on you.
Yeah, spying on you.
Yeah.
And other.
You don't have freedom anymore. You're always being watched. But, somebody gets shot someplace, and the public will say, we'd rather have a drone there to prevent people from being shot than not have a drone. Okay, that's like at the airports. What happens at the airports now? You have to go through a metal detector. You have to take off your belt and your shoes and all the metal out of it, and you can't have containers that are more than 2 ounces of liquid. And when I was your age, you go to the airport, you're at gate 15, you just walk to gate 15. You have friends want to go to the gate and wait with you, have a drink at the bar. Everybody just walks to gate 15. But there's a couple problems. So in the name of safety, what happened? Everybody now has to go through all of these other hassles, and that's one of the things that's going to happen with drones. They're going to be everywhere. So the good news is there'll be more safety. The bad news is there'll be less freedom. But for our purposes, they're going to be delivering packages. Huge opportunities are going to exist for people that decide they're going to be first to have a package delivery company. Because what's going to happen to those people?
They're gonna blow up. Like,
Huh?
They're gonna get big.
Let's say you create a package delivery company for Las Vegas, Luke. You want to be the first guy. You're going to have a package delivery company. And in 5 years, you have 500 drones delivering packages.
That's taking away jobs from people.
Well, maybe not. It does take away jobs, but maybe it creates more jobs than it takes away. So instead of having people, some people driving trucks, fixing trucks, washing trucks and things, you have people doing similar things, but for drones. But what happens if you have 500 drones? Okay, so one of the things when you go into business as an entrepreneur, you always want to think of what's my exit strategy? Why am I starting this business? Am I creating a job for myself? Am I creating something for my family? Do I want to get famous? Do I want to make a lot of money? And so you have what's called an exit strategy. And so in the drone business, an exit strategy would be, I'm going to create this drone company because I want it to get big enough that UPS or FedEx or somebody will buy me out. And that they'll use something called net cap. Okay, so the net cap principle is what is the value of a network? Would a fleet of drones be considered a network? They do, okay, because you have a bunch of things and they're out doing stuff and you have a network. So the net cap principle, the simple explanation is the value of your network is equal to the number of nodes times the value squared. Okay, so if I have 2 nodes and they're worth 4, what's 4 times 4? Okay, so 2 times 16 is 32, right? Now, if I double the number of nodes and I have 4, what's 4 times 16? Yeah, so that's not right. I wrote it wrong. Okay, so 2 times 4 is 8, right? Squared is what? 64, right? Everybody know this? 2 times 4 is 8. What's 8 times 8? Okay, now let's say I have 4 times 4 is what? 16 squared. Is 16 squared bigger than, well, let's just do the simple math. That's 256. Okay? So the net cap principle says, if I double the number of nodes, my value doesn't double, my value goes up 4 times. So having a node of 100 drones, or a network of 100 drones, versus a network of 500 drones, the value becomes really, really large. So the idea is, if you are in a business that has a network, you want to have as many nodes as possible, as many customers as possible. swimming pool cleaning company, carpet cleaning company, anything where you have customers, those customers are called nodes. Now, why is it so good to be in a thing like your own IT repair company?
Just owning your own business, being able to.
No, that's not why. Why is it not good?
Oh, why is it not good?
Yeah.
Sorry. You take all the risk on.
No,
You have your own.
that's not why. Because that could be good. Let's say that's not the reason, but you're correct. If you start your own mom and pop business, how many nodes do you have? There's just you. Okay? You want to start a business where you have a lot of it. So it's like, who's the biggest company in the home computer repair business?
I'm not sure about repair.
Geek Squad?
Geek Squad. Because they have all of the Best Buys, right? That they work at. So they're able to get thousands of people. All right. So anyway, on drones, drones is a business. That would be a good business to get into because it's going to be changing everything in the future. Is there what kind of stuff do you like doing, Lawrence? Just very quickly.
I kind of been liking like a personal or like a business related.
For work, what do you want to do?
For work, I want to be in network security or possibly like penetration testing.
Okay. So on your own, or working for somebody?
I'd like to start off working with somebody, of course, to see what they do, but plan in the future is to have my own security.
So that's a business that's going to evolve and it's going to be more and more. And do you think there could be anything involving drones having to do with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you want to be autodidactic because things are going to change more and more and faster and faster and faster in the future. So I teach at a school called Larson Training Centers. That is a post-secondary school that gives people the skills they need to have stable and meaningful employment. Part of that, you have to know how to type. Who here is a good typist? Who here thinks they're a good typist? Okay, what is your typing speed? 50? Tested? Or is that what you think it is? Okay. Because we had some guys last week, not here, but at the other campus, that said, I said, oh, I type 100 words a minute. I said, okay, well, that's good, cool. You don't, but okay. Let's see what you type. What do you think his speed was?
22.
It was less than 20. And I said, well, how do you say you have 100 and you're really 20? Oh, well, the typing test has me doing capital letters and period punctuation and stuff like that. I just type. That doesn't work in an office, right? You don't get to say, well, I don't want any capital letters, I don't want any periods, I don't want any numbers, I don't want any special characters. I don't want that. So I teach there, and we have a campus that's inside of the prison. So, and we have the school that has the highest placement rate in the state of Nevada, 2 years in a row, over 85%. And our students are either in prison or they live in a homeless shelter somewhere. We don't have, in Nevada, we don't have people who say, should I go to Stanford or should I go to Larson? We just have people that it's the school that provides the biggest bang for the buck and the most benefits. Because of that, we got associated with Nolan Bushnell, who is who, Luke? The founder of
Atari
and Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
And he's created a thing
I
called
did
Snap.
all my research.
Good.
I was happy.
Okay. So he, guy created Atari, which is Pong, Asteroid, Centipede, about 60 games. He sold it to Warner Communications, and then he created Chuck E. Cheese. In 2 years, they opened 600 restaurants. Well, now his focus is on education, post-secondary education, because he says college takes too long, It's too expensive, and most people don't ever end up doing what they went to school to do in the first place. So he came up with something called SNAP. And SNAP, in 9 months, gives you everything you need to do to either start a business, become a good employee, or decide you're going to go to college. So what are some of the things? Accounting. So that's QuickBooks. Business law. HR. Media. Marketing. Funding. Technology. And the future. Okay. So can you imagine if you started school, you went to UNLV and you started and you had a QuickBooks certificate, you started with as a certified QuickBooks person, how would you be compared to everyone else who started accounting? Would you guess?
Ahead of the game.
Way ahead of the game, yeah. How about business law? If you already knew property, contracts, intellectual stuff, how would you be compared to everybody else just starting college? Way ahead. Now, what if you went and got a job at 7-Eleven? And you wanted to, because you wanted to have your own store, and you said, I want to learn from a good company. If you went to work at 7-Eleven and you knew QuickBooks, you had a QuickBooks certificate, and you had business law, do you think they would be interested in putting you on track to be a store manager? Well, it would depend. Hey, Melvin.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
All right.
Everyone, this is Melvin Valentine.
Hi, how you doing?
Melvin has a program, which I'll speak about in a few minutes, once he's settled down and ready to go, that could be of interest to all of you that will be working with SNAP and Larson. So HR, human resources, hiring, firing, and training teams. Do you think they would want that at 7-Eleven? Yeah. Okay. Media, so what is television, cable TV, YouTube? How do you get your message out there? Marketing, what is the message that you want to get out there? What do you want people to see or think or believe about your company? Funding, where do you get funding? So again, if you're starting college and you knew these things, how would you be compared to everyone else? Way ahead, you'd be at the top of the class. If you were going to go to work for someone else and you knew all of this stuff, do you think anybody else applying for a job would know that? Darnell is saying you'd know too much, they wouldn't want to hire you, okay? But that's not really true. Because when I was in law school, a lot of guys, if you were in law school and you went to 7-Eleven and said, look, I'm in law school, but I have to pay my bills, would you hire me? Do you think they're going to say no?
Like most of the time, my mom, she had went to school, and like she had so much under her resume that like when she would go apply for a job, they actually turn her down.
Okay, so it turns out it's not that people are overeducated that they get turned down. Employers want two things. What's one of them? Write this down on your papers. Employers only want two things. Now, when I say employers, I'm not talking about government jobs, and I'm not talking about nonprofits. I'm talking about real businesses. They only want two things. That's all they care about.
Good work and low pay, low wages.
No. False. False. See what we're dealing with now?
Hard work and attendance.
No.
Make money, save money.
Make money and save money. There's only two things employers care about: making money and saving money.
That's basically paying you low wages.
No, it's not. No. You want good people. If you get somebody good, no matter what you pay them, they're going to make you more. The people at Google want to make money. They're not trying to pay people a little bit. They don't have their jackboot on the back of their employees' necks. What do they do with the money they make? They want to change the world. They want to put blimps over Africa and South America so that everybody can have internet access. They want to change the world. All businesses only care about making money and saving money. The only reason they would hire anybody is because they say, I'm going to make money off that person. So a lot of people who say, well, they didn't hire me because I'm overeducated, in the mind of the interviewer, his thing was, this guy's going to make me more money. That person isn't interested in making me money, or maybe they are. This person's going to make me more money. So here's a little tip, a little secret. Write this down. Don't leave home without it. When you're in an interview, you want them to ask you a question. What is the question, Leah? What is the question? You wrote it down 3 times the last 3 weeks. So I haven't given you a composition book, so you don't bring the book back. You come back with a blank sheet of paper.
Why should I hire you?
Well, you want them to ask you that question. You want to maneuver the conversation so they say, well, why should we hire you? And what would you say, Lawrence? Because you want us to help you get in the downtown project, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why should we hire you?
Because I feel like I can,
Okay, try again.
because, all right. I was
Good,
making-
that's a good start.
All right, I was making sure that wasn't it.
No. So in law school, they teach you a lot of things. Like you don't ever want to start an answer with the word of. Why do we want to hire you? No, it's over at that point. So why should we hire you?
Because I can come into your company and learn the job. No, just kidding.
I can come in your company with a job. What does that mean? What does it
No,
mean?
I can come into your company,
Yeah.
learn the job, and do what you need me to do. But it wasn't. I was just trying to say something that wasn't going to get ahead. I was like nervous.
Okay. So another thing in law school they teach you is when you're in front of a judge, the judge will interrupt you at any second in time. And you can't get hey, judge, stop interrupting. Somebody did that here, and the judge handcuffed him a couple weeks ago. It was national news. The judge told this young attorney, stop. And she said, no, judge, you don't understand. Stop. And he said, bailiff, handcuff her, put her over there with the other people. So she didn't learn her lesson in law school, which is be prepared and don't take it personally. So why should we hire you?
Because I can come.
Because I can what?
Because this is something I'm truly passionate about.
Because I really want this job. Boo-hoo. I don't care about that. What do I care about?
Making money.
Okay, so here's the thing to take home. Write it down, don't leave home without it. When they say, why should we hire you? The answer is very simple. Because I'm going to make you more money than anyone else. Now, if you say that with conviction, what's going to happen? They're not going to believe you? No. If you say it without conviction, they won't believe you. If you say it with conviction, what are they going to do? They're going to notice that because, number one, nobody ever says that. Now, what if you say it like this? Why should we hire you? Because I'm going to make you more money than anyone else?
And how would you do that?
You sound unsure.
I'm asking a question. I'm asking like, okay, is this the answer you're looking for? Because I'm going to make you more money than someone else?
Well, what if the employer says, and how would you do that?
Huh?
If the employer says, and how would you do that?
Well, okay, we're going to role play. What's the job I'm applying for? 7-Eleven. Okay, I'm going to make you more money than anyone else. Okay, go ahead, Lawrence. You jumped in that fire.
How would you do that?
Because I'm going to come in here with great customer service. I'm going to have knowledge of the product. I'm going to make sure everybody knows about your current special so that nobody leaves here without trying to buy something else.
Okay, so that's good. I would have that as the follow-up to, I know how to sell. And when people walk in the store, they're buyers. So somebody walks up to the cash register. So there's 2 kinds of people. Order takers and sellers, people who sell. Most people that work in retail think that they're customer service. They think they're order takers. You walk up and you say, I want a hamburger. And I say, okay. I say, do you want anything else? And you say, no. And I say, okay. Okay?
Well, when I used to work at a restaurant, and
What kind of restaurant?
I used to work at Famous Days in Arizona Mesa.
What do they make there? I think there's one here.
It's
isn't there?
basically like Southern barbecue.
Okay, all right.
So what they would want us to do is basically upsell people. So when they come into the store and they buy like a brisket sandwich or something for like $13, would you like something to drink with that? Would you like a t-shirt, some pickles? Would you
Okay.
like your own
All right.
sauce?
So that's a good step. So people who sell take it a little different way. Instead of would you like, because it's kind of easy to say no.
Yeah, super.
You don't ask them the question, you tell them you should try this, or you don't give them the opportunity to decide yes or no.
What we used to do, we'll put like all the flavors of the sauces that we had in Famous Days on the plate, and we'll let them try out all the flavors. So it'll create room to like, for you to bring them in and actually buy the product.
Okay. Good. So how are you going to make somebody money at 7-Eleven? Okay. Now, somebody that's in sales would say by selling. Because they would say, if you're not doing that, you're not selling. You know, order takers are not salespeople, is what somebody who sells would say. That guy's an order taker. You don't upsell, you sell, or you take orders. So, you know, for me, I would say you sell, but upsell is fine if you get the difference between being an order taker and you want to do it in a positive way. So, but before you go into 7-Eleven for your interview, you do research on the company. You go to their website, you go to the thing that's about us, you find out their history, why they were started, and you use that language, but it's basically you want to get to, I'm going to make you more money than anyone else. I promise you, unless they've been to Larson, or soon, Valentine Communications, nobody in the interview is going to say, because I'm going to make you more money than anyone else. The only people that do it are people who've sold, are salespeople, and they generally are not in an interview. You know, they don't generally go through stuff like that because their resume and their background is, oh, you sell, you're commission only, you don't have a problem with that? Well, you know, sure, we'll give you a shot. They don't ask people that question. So businesses only want two things, making money or saving money. When somebody walks in and they walk out saying, I didn't get the job because I was overqualified, it's not really about that. They could be overqualified, but it's because the person deciding who gets hired chose the person who's going to make them more money. And you can't say, right, I'm more educated, therefore I'm going to make them more money. I take one of Melvin's guys 10 out of 10 over somebody that was educated that walked in and said, I'm going to make you more money than anyone else. Because I probably believe it, right? And if I believed it, what would I have to do? Hire them, okay? So have the courage, have the guts when you're in an interview to maneuver the situation so they say, why should we hire you? And what do you say, Julian?
Because I'm going to make more money than anybody in here.
I'm going to make more money? Oh, you're going to steal from me?
No, I'm going to make more money than anybody. I'm going to make more money for you than anybody in
Ooh, that was too confusing.
here.
You have to own it. I'm going to make you more
I'm going
money.
to make you more money.
Yeah, I'm going to make you more money than
At the
anyone
same time,
else.
I'm
But I
going to
wouldn't
make
point
more
at
money.
it. I would do, I'm going to make you more money than anyone else. That's why. And then you hope they say what? How? And you're prepared, right? So you know the business you're walking into, and you can say what Lauren said. But I would shorten it first and say, because I know how to sell. And everybody that walks in the store is a customer, and they want to buy something. The only reason they walk into a 7-Eleven is because what? There's two reasons you walk into a 7-Eleven. What's one?
Gamble.
No.
Something to drink.
You want to buy something, or you want to steal something. That's the only two reasons. You go to a 7-Eleven, okay?
Well, maybe that's 7-Eleven by where I used to stay at.
Huh?
everybody at the 7-Eleven on the north side, they used to just go in there to gamble.
Okay, but what are they buying?
But yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
They're gambling because they want to walk out with more money than they came in with. Okay, they don't really do that, but there's always hope.
That never really
There's
happens.
always hope. So, so that's what I do at Larson, and now Snap does this. And everybody here should do Snap. Because life is changing so fast, the future is going to be so different than the present. If you're not prepared for it, you're going to have a miserable life. I'm going to let Melvin talk about what he does in about 30 seconds. But what I want to say is some people don't have the skills to start Snap. Okay, if you don't know how to use a computer and the internet and Google Apps, you can't really take this business law course at Yale. If you know how to use a computer, you can do it. If you don't know how to use a computer, you can't do it. And when I say computer, I don't just mean turn it on. I mean really know how to use it. If you can't use a computer, you can't do this stuff. So we are, both Larson and Snap want to do things with Melvin and his organization because our job, it's not about especially the mental side. We do the typing, we do the computer stuff, but if you don't have the right attitude, so like your fundamental belief to me is employer is bad. They're going to try to take advantage of you.
I mean, not really.
Well, when you say they're trying to get people for the least amount of money and screw them over every chance they get.
Well, you asked the question.
Oh,
I answered it.
No, but all I'm saying is that's what you believe. I'm not saying it's not true for all companies.
Yeah.
It's not true for good companies.
It is actually true for some companies.
I agree, but if your default mode is employers are bad, they're going to try to screw me over, it's going to be tough. And it's going to turn over to Melvin. It's going to be tough to get a good job. It's about your mental thought. Tag team.
Tag team, okay. All right, good job. That was great. That's great stuff. He's giving you guys jewels, man. I'm telling you. Basically, where we fit into the place, Valentine Communications. I'm very passionate about Snap. Super excited about this opportunity, especially for individuals that are coming from the inner city. I grew up in the inner city, and this is the future, okay? I don't know if you guys are aware of, we're at one of those crossroads in world history, okay? There was a point in time that in the caveman days, can you imagine there was a point in time there was no farming? Nobody knew how to farm. You had to literally follow animals around to get to the next herd, right? Can you imagine how chaotic that would be, right? That you're just hunters and gatherers and, oh, we gotta move. No permanent sheltering, no permanent housing, right? We had to chase the food everywhere we went. The moment somebody came up with a seed and planted it in the ground, it was like magic to some people. Like, oh my God, what is going on, right? That changed civilization, right? Now you don't have to move. You sit here. They learned how to domesticate animals. We don't got to chase animals no more. You just have the animals have babies. Now you got universities. Now you got government. Now you got what's called civilization occurred, right? That was called the agriculture revolution, right? Changed how life existed, right? What was the next one after that? Anybody know what the next one was after that? I'm giving y'all a history test. Okay? After the farming revolution. You see how farming changed reality, right?
The
Life as you know it.
industrial revolution.
The what?
The industrial.
Bam! Good job. The industrial revolution. For thousands of years, we were farmers. We sat around and we farmed. That's how we survived as human beings. And then industrial revolution comes. Game changer, right? Now you got machines. We don't need hundreds of people on the farm. Do you understand? In the farming revolution, 89% of humanity that's how you lived. You worked on the farm. You had to farm to live, right? Now we have machines to go out and do that for us. So what ended up happening, right? You have all these people now have to work in factories. They have to learn new skills. They have to learn a new culture, a new learning style, right? Right? A whole new civilization occurred. Imagine the first people that are used to going to the farm and they go into the city, and now we got to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You imagine if you've been used to farming your whole life, and then you go into the grocery store and you just picking food up, and none of y'all, nobody in here probably don't know how to farm. You know how to milk a cow? You know how to do none of that, right? But that was the power of the Industrial Revolution. Okay, so you guys follow me, right? You understand that you guys are on the verge of a new world that is about to occur. It's called the information age. It's called the digital age. This computer is changing the world right now. Right? This is going to be the first. Imagine, before, if I have a shoe and I want to sell my shoe to people, I have to go through all these processes to get it in the store. I have to know certain people. I have to rub elbows with certain people, right? Now, if I have a shoe, all I got to do is put it up online. I have access to millions of people being the opportunity to be able to buy my shoe, right? Give you an example. Who's into music? Anybody into music? How is the music industry being impacted just by technology alone? Break it down for us.
Well, if you go on YouTube and you get a lot of subscribers, well, you have to get a lot of views to get a lot of subscribers. So the first person that actually done that in the music industry was Soulja Boy, because he came out with the Superman or whatever it was called. So after he came out with that song and it was a hit and everybody got to see it on BET, he became a big YouTube success. So YouTube started paying Soulja Boy to get those views and keep those views going. So after Soulja Boy kept those views going, it actually built YouTube up to where YouTube can start paying their people that's posting videos every day or whatever to keep their YouTube site going or whatever. So yeah, basically, if you promote yourself hard enough, then
Now, 20 years ago, our artists didn't even have that opportunity.
no.
You couldn't get millions of people to even have access to your music unless you got a record deal. See the power and the control? What's happening every time we have one of these revolutions, power is shared more equally. More and more people now have an opportunity to come up. Now, who comes up the most is the people that are always at the cutting edge of this new trend, of this new phenomenon. And this is what Snap is preparing you for. In the future, school is about to be changed, right? This thing is about to take the place of teachers in the future. You see what I'm saying? In the next 5 to 10 years, they're not even going to have drivers no more. That's like you're going to see that in your lifetime. And you're going to get on the freeway, nobody's driving the car anymore. I mean, you can go online and see this. You get what I'm saying? The stuff that's about to happen. So the point of the matter is our whole economy is changing and it's evolving. So how you earn a living is going to change rapidly. For example, companies now are looking for more entrepreneurial mindseted people to even work with them, right? They want more independent thinking people to work with them. You know why? Because I don't want to spend $10,000 for all of us to sit in our office for what? You know why the vast majority of people, they created that model? So a supervisor can hover over you all day and make sure you're doing your work. But there's companies saying, man, if I got people who are actually passionate about their work and they're responsible and reliable, they can work from home.
Yeah.
Matt, now what did that say? What do they want to do? Ain't that saving us some money if we don't got to pay for the lights? We don't got to pay for it, and we can have a company and everybody can work from home. These are the things that are occurring on. And if you don't want to work for a company, you have more opportunity than ever before to make money online. But there's some fundamentals about how business operates that Snap is going to teach you. And if you learn what's taught in Snap, there's no way you can't be successful. Because whether you decide to start your own business or you work for somebody else, you understand business. And if you understand business, if you understand the game, you can always create value for the whole world is ran off of business. So if you understand how business actually operates, right? Now if you start your own business, you can create value. And if you work for somebody else that has a business, you can create value. But you're always being able to create value. I know people with doctorate degrees that went to school for 12 years and don't know the basics about business law. They don't know what a credit score is. When you're going into funding, you know how many people are college educated and don't understand how credit works. You live in America. You know how amazing that is? Every 18-year-old gets a chance to become a millionaire, whether you know it or not, just by a credit score. You have the opportunity you have the opportunity to become a millionaire. Because you know what credit is just basically the bank willing to loan you money. So what do? Just like in the streets in the dope game, they front you, okay, well, you want to sell drugs for me? Okay, well, we'll give you these 2 little dime bags. Let's see what you do with that. If you come back with that and you actually brought me back my money, what is he going to do? He's going to give you more, and he's going to give you a larger quantity, right? So one day you're Nino Brown, right? You got to keep. Okay, the bank is the same business principle. Well, how did they first start? When you go get anybody got a credit card yet? Anybody has any credit? Good.
I got back.
Learn how to use it. Oh, you already got bad credit. Okay, so exactly, because we're not taught that, right? We're taught, look, our mama or our auntie's going to put the light bill in our name at 17, right? Right?
Yeah.
Soon as it's like in our world, it's just free money, right? So you run out here when you're 18 or 19, get you a JC Penney card in a Foot Locker, and you blow up your credit report, and you just happy because you got some Jordans for free.
Yeah.
But you just messed up your $1 million ticket. Because even though it's a Foot Locker card, it's a bank behind Foot Locker saying, give so-and-so, give Melvin $200 line. See what he does. See if he's going to pay back his money to us. Oh, he paid it back. What?
Let's give him some more.
Let's give him $600. Right? Oh, then he went over here and the credit bureau's keeping track of it. They're like, oh, he went over there to what? Macy's. Got him a card. Oh, he paid them back too. They're like, oh, this guy, okay. Oh, I like him. So now you got 3 or 4 cars, and now you go into the car. Uh-oh, you go into the car lot. Hey, car lot. I want that Nissan, that new Nissan. Okay, you have been paying your bills on time. Okay, like now that's it. Another bank is like, go ahead, give them a car. Right? You do that a couple of times. Now all of a sudden, right, 2, 3, 4 years. Oh, I'm in here, and I'm gonna buy 3 ice cream trucks. Because I know everybody in my community, in my neighborhood, and I know if I have an ice cream truck, they're gonna buy it from me. You know? So now you buy 3 ice cream trucks and you go to the bank and say, hey, I've been paying my bills on time. I need an $8,000 loan. Well, what are you going to do? Show them your business plan that you learned from Larson? You show them you show them all what's your money, how you going to project it. You know, if you get an $8,000 loan, you're probably going to pay what? $150, $200 a month maybe on that. But you take your $8,000, right? You go buy 3 ice cream trucks. Now, each of your ice cream trucks is making anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Now you're making $6,000. You see how you just flipped your money? So you got an $8,000 loan. You only got to pay $200 a month off of it, and you bought 3 ice cream trucks, and you're making $6,000. And you take out of your $6,000, pay your 2. You could either pay off that loan faster, or you could just pay them their $200. But after they're paid off, you got good credit. That's the type of stuff we're going to teach you at SNAP. You see what I'm saying? There's people that are going to, do you want to be a worker or do you want to be a boss? If you're a worker, all you can do is work. If you're a boss, you can still be a worker and your boss will probably like you better because you understand what he's going through. What Ed just showed you right now was boss talk. Like he said, most people that go in there, they don't even realize that's what businesses want to do. They want to make money and save money. People are going in here thinking, if I'm nice, if I smile nice, it's like, how can you make me some money? Right? When you said the comment about, employers. No, I don't look at it like that. I look at it, look, you get paid for what you're going to get out into this world, and the world's going to say, what do you do? If what you can do is worth $8 an hour, then that's what the hell we're going to give you.
Well, my meaning was because I did sales for an alarm company and a solar company.
Okay.
And what they taught me was when you go and an employer tries to hire you, they're going to try to pay you the minimum of what they can pay you because they're trying to save money.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're trying to save money, okay.
But if you're sitting there saying no, if you tell them, say, okay, how about I pay you $8 an hour? No, I want 10. they're gonna be like, oh, okay, then your work is good, or they're gonna want to pay you the same. You don't accept the first offer. That's what I was taught.
Well, it depends on
That's why I meant that.
I mean, that's a complicated circumstance. It depends on the circumstance. You got to know your competition,
Yeah.
right? You got to know your competition, because you can come in there and bluff and act like you don't want their $8. And if you got other offers on the table, then you can walk away and say, I don't need your $8.
Yeah.
But go in there and bluff and you need their $8, but you think you're going to get 10, but you got 3 people that actually are either just as good as you or maybe even better that are willing to take the 8. Then what do you do?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So labor, you know, it's a very complex situation when you're trying to negotiate your salary, because you got to be in reality of, you may think you're worth $20 an hour. That don't mean they're worth that. And then there's some, okay, prime example. I seen a Bentley coupe for sale. Oh my God, it was so amazing, right? For sale, great hell of a deal. It was like 50 grand. I loved it. I wanted it. Do I have $50,000 to get it? No. So it was irrelevant. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes an employer only can afford what he can afford. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This position, what you're doing right here, is only going to generate an X amount of profit. You know, it's only going to make a certain amount of money. So you may be all these different skill sets and all that, but here, you doing that particular task is only going to generate this amount of money. So I only can afford to pay this. Sometimes we take it personal when we don't get our way in those type of circumstances. And a lot of times it's not a personal situation. It just means that I can't afford to give you more.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just the bottom line. I only can afford to give you this. You see what I'm saying? So, but I'm just trying to make you guys understand that as long as you continue to work on your skills, money will not be an issue. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do.
For example, the Lakers, right? Or let's say Cleveland Cavaliers. They pay LeBron James, whatever they pay him, ridiculous amount of money to play basketball, right? But at the end of the day, it's profitable to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they can, because I'm making you understand that all employers want to make as much money as possible, and sometimes paying more for good talent will make you more money, right? Cleveland Cavaliers can come and pay me right now to play basketball, and they don't got to pay what they pay LeBron. I'll take a discount, right? I wouldn't even say, yeah, I'll take a tenth of that, right? Pay me minimum wage to play basketball right now. I will pay basketball every day for minimum wage. That doesn't mean that they're going to make, I don't think nobody's going to pay them to watch me play basketball.
I see what you're saying. That's like me in acting. I want to do acting. So pay me minimum wage. I'll be in every film.
And there you go. You see what I'm saying? And then sometimes with an employer, you know your value. Imagine that's a very, put yourself on the other side of the table. How many of us have been lied to? How many of us have been gassed and manipulated? Right?
Yeah.
How many people, right? Is it right? How many people, oh, I can do this, I'm going to do that, and woo, right? So imagine if you're an employee. That's the scariest thing at the table. Right? You hire little Rico. Little Rico's in your face, and he's telling you all of those stuff that he's going to be able to do, right? You hire him. You give him a shot. He shows up the first 3 days on time. And then what ends up happening after that? Okay. Okay. We know. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's why when you go into these interviews and when you go into those situations, you prepare yourself. And that's what I'm passionate about. Snap is going to give you the technical skills and the technical knowledge for you to be successful in the workforce, period. Technical skills, hard skills. You come to my program to prepare for Snap. So, for example, the NBA, what do they have? They have a thing called All Sports. What do they have? They have preseason. What is preseason designed to do? For the season, right? So if you look at your Snap experience, when you're with me, we're preparing you for the preseason. Then you jump into the season. And then when are you in the playoffs?
When you're out there.
When you're actually starting your business. Right? As soon as you graduate from Snap, and day one where you go out here and you're in your business, or day one you take your skill sets, because there's an entrepreneur, that's a person that starts their own business, and there's a word called an intrapreneur that's taking off. An entrepreneur is a person that has entrepreneurial skill sets, but he works inside of a company. That's what Google's looking for. Google's constantly trying to hire the young, freshest tech talent because they know if we don't hire them, they're going to compete against us. And they're going to create the next tech, right? That's all Google does now. Google just goes around and buys other tech companies. I don't think, when's the last time they made something new? I don't know, but they go around and they buy all the tech companies. So that's called entrepreneurship. You get what I'm saying? So that concept of, hey, I'm innovative, I'm a quick thinker, I got all these skills. They want people like that to be under these companies, right? So when you come to my program, what you're going to learn is 5 things. Time management, because I come from where a lot of y'all come from, and I know one thing like I know. There's 5 skills that are rooted in culture that before you can take advantage of this snap opportunity, they have to be addressed. And those 5 issues are these.
Hold on one second.
Go ahead.
Just have a clarification. So what's happening is people next door are getting more interested in listening to Melvin than taking the test.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's
Okay.
okay. That's a good thing. So you just have to lower the volume a little bit because they're getting
They're like, what's
complaining
going on?
about, yeah, what's on the other side of the door.
Okay.
So this is so good that the people over there are more interested in this than that.
You can.
Okay. So now, 5 things.
All right. Now the 5 things is this. Time management.
Write these down.
And these are the 5 things these are called soft skills. Before you can learn how to use a computer, before you know about business law, if you don't have these 5 skills, you can't be successful at nothing you do. Okay? The first one is time management. Okay? Second one is task management. We're going to go over all of them once we done with the 5. Okay? The third one is respect for authority. The 4th one is professional speech. And the last one is professional dress. Now I challenge
Would you mind writing those on the board?
Okay, no problem. Can I erase this right here?
Yeah. No, not their names.
Not the now those are the names.
Erase anything else you want.
Okay, everything right here? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just keep that up. I'll come back to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is poverty. If you don't have these skills, you're going to be impoverished. I guarantee you. Anybody that you know that is not financially where they're at, where they want to be. Everybody that's in the welfare line, everybody that's in and out of jail, anybody that's struggling check to check, they're struggling with at least 2 of these issues. If you know a case, you don't have to tell me the name, but if you know a case that's not the circumstance, I challenge you now to bring it up. You don't have to tell me the name or who it is, but if you think that you know somebody that is struggling with poverty, that doesn't struggle also in at least 2 of these areas, put the case on the table. Make the case.
You said they don't struggle in at least 2 of those areas?
Yeah. Because I know, everybody I know a lot of people in poverty. What they call it, CPT time?
What's that stand for?
Colored people time.
Oh.
Y'all knew what it stood for. Right? How many times have you, and they, right around the corner, I'll be here in 15 minutes. No, you're not.
Hour 15.
No, you're not. You're not going to be here in 15. You already know certain people you talk to, when they say 15 minutes, that means an hour. If you add add an hour to whatever they say.
That's why I started telling them
Successful
half an hour before at the time.
Think about it, look how sad that is. What is the one thing in this world you can't get back? And what do people in poverty, a lot of them like to do? Not all of them, but a lot of them love wasting time. Sit up there all day talking about Gucci Man's last CD for 5 hours. Oh, he just got out of jail and what's going on with him? Why are we talking about that? What is that going to do for us?
Nothing.
But task management, you know what I mean by task management? That means you need to
Like an agenda?
I need you to clean up your room, I need you to take out the trash, and I need you to mow the lawn. I'll be back in 4 hours. And what happens in 4 hours? Does any of that get done? Okay. Maybe half make it done.
Mainly taking out the trash when they pull up.
I'll see the backhand or no.
Okay, but she's trying to make, because she knows, look, she knows, she's trying to, she don't want you to fall into that. And she knows look, because if you go to any job, that's what they're paying you to do is complete tasks. So if you go to Walmart and they say, Jerome, I need you to stock the shelves in 20 minutes. And you come back and Jerome, halfway done, and he's texting around the corner.
Yeah.
And then when his supervisor say something to him, they're racist. Ain't that what happens? Hey, okay.
Discrimination.
Okay. Okay. What's the next one? How many people do you know right now have a problem with this? They don't want to listen to nobody. Nobody can tell them what to do. If nobody can tell you what to do, who can you work for? You have to be, see, if you ever think about this, you reap what you sow. If you ever want to be a boss one day, you respect other bosses. Because you know one day, I'm going to tell people what to do, and I want them to do it. You see, you see what I'm saying? So you have to have some form of respect for authority. If you don't have no respect for authority, you can't, because nobody starts off as a boss. You work your way to becoming a boss. And you have to be up under other bosses to become your own boss one day. And if you can't respect authority, you will never get there. The vast majority of people in prison, not all, but the vast majority of people in and out of jail, they have a problem with authority. They don't want nobody telling them what to do. Okay? Last one, professional speech. There's a time and place for everything, right? You may talk that way in your neighborhood, in your community, with your friends, but when you're in a professional setting, there's certain ways that you communicate and talk. That it's just the way things are. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everywhere you go on this planet, you want to be respected. In order to you have to earn respect. So if I'm in a professional place, whether I agree with it or not, if I want to be respected in that environment, I may prefer. Yeah, I love to shoot the talk and do all that, but when I get in a professional place, I want to be respected. So I don't talk that way. And if I go to the block, I'm not going to say, hey, fellas, how you guys doing? You're not going to respect that. So I'm not telling you to, right? I'll be like, hey, what's up? What's cracking with you? You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be respected there. But when I go over here, I'm like, hey, how you doing today, sir? Some say it's fake. I'm saying it's just survival.
Yeah, you gotta survive.
That's like speaking English to a Spanish speaker. It's crazy, right? Does that make any sense? So you got to learn both codes. It's called code switching. You talk in both worlds. You just switch codes. Okay? And then last but not least, professional dress. Professional dress. Once again, let me, you learn one thing, learn this. Every human being stereotypes. Every human being, we're biologically wired to make assessments off of other people in 2 seconds. That's why your first impression is critical. If I would have came in here with some flip flops and a wife beater with some Kool-Aid stains on my shirt, be honest, same person, and I have that at home. Probably gonna have it on tomorrow, cause I'm off. But right, if I would have came in with that outfit, right, and then Ed was like, Delvin has something to say to y'all. What are y'all gonna think?
I thought he was one out.
Right? Automatically, I can have tons of wisdom. I could be talking the same stuff I'm talking now. But if I would have looked like that, you wouldn't have received me.
I don't know, cause I had a situation with a homeless dude.
Okay.
That I just go and talk to every day.
Okay.
And get advice from him.
Okay.
But I felt like he was of his higher self, cause it was one point in time I came down there and talked to him. And he was like, "Now you gotta find your own path. You won't see me no more." And I was confused. I came back down there the next day after that, thinking that he was gonna be there, and I never seen him.
Okay. Now you're one of the enlightened ones. You can receive wisdom from all different sources, and that's a great thing. Do you think the vast majority of people?
No.
So statistically speaking, right? Because nothing, there's always anomalies like yourself that can receive wisdom from a homeless man. There's some people that's like, the fact that he's homeless, they can't receive it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you know all that, why aren't you doing it for yourself?
Yeah.
But you can, and that's good. And I'm not saying it should be like that, right? But in the business world, you want to operate. It's a difference between possibility and probability. Anything's possible. Is it possible that I can go outside and find $1,000?
Yeah.
That's possible. People have done that. Is it possible that I can go to the casino and hit for 50 grand? It's possible. Is that a good plan for me to be able to pay my house note?
No.
If my plan is, I need to pay my rent, I need to go to the casino.
Right. That's sad.
But because people in poverty, they function off of possibilities and not probability. Is it possible that I can go to the casino and hit for $5,000 and pay my rent? It is possible, but is it probable? You know what I mean by probability? Business people talk in percentages, right? Your best friend call you tomorrow and say they're gonna hook you up with a ride to the party, right? Depending on what friend it is, you function off of probability. What is the percentage? It's about a 70% chance they'll probably come through. Some people are at a 30% chance. So you have to act accordingly. If you really want to get to that party, you got to increase your probability. So you make a call, and what do they say? So-and-so, they said they'll pick you up, but they're like a 30% chance. If you really want to get to that party, you're going to sit there and so-and-so said they're going to get me. You're going to call somebody else, right? Worst case scenario, you were, right? If you're a businessman, worst case scenario, I want 3 people to pull up.
Yeah.
I want to let me have that problem, right? Because life is business. That's what I want you to understand. This stuff is going to help you at home, with your family, with everything is business, right? When you get 18 and 19 and nobody's getting no money off, nobody's getting no food stamp from you, nobody's getting none of this from you, and now you got to earn away, and now you're sitting around here eating food that you're not contributing to, and you're not bringing no money into the income, right? This is a household. A household is a business, right? What if every household is focused on what? Making money and saving money. So if you live in that household, and whoever's the head of that household, they want breadwinners in the home. Because if I'm only one breadwinner, I got 3 sons who are sitting around not doing nothing, but every time I bring in some groceries, they eat it all up. Because they're trying to be rappers in the back. You see what I'm saying? So if you understand this stuff, man, you're gonna be good in life in general. This is, we can call it snap. I call it survival. Bottom line, this is the new survival. If you don't know this, you may not survive. Period. And this is going beyond classes now. There's people that went to school and got tons of student loans and student debt. There's people that studied to be a marine biologist and they live in North Dakota. Because they don't understand. If they understood SNAP, they would know, okay, That doesn't make sense. That's not economically feasible for me to spend all this money to be a marine biologist, and I don't plan on moving by around water. That sounds silly to you, but this is what's going on. You know how many people, I graduated in 2010. You know how many classmates I know that it's like you went to school to be a psychologist because it sounded cool, but you never did any research or study on, are people hiring psychologists? You know how many people have psychology degrees? They don't know what to do because it just sounded cool. You see what I'm saying? They'll sell you that stuff, but this stuff is going to get you together no matter what you do. And I'm done.
Okay, now let's move to the next step. So thank you, Melvin. Let's give everybody, Melvin, a real sincere. Lawrence, that was a little bit weak, but okay.
I'm not as wild.
Huh? You were okay. So that was fantastic. I see this a lot, and Melvin is really good. What do you do during the day, Melvin? Just so they know.
I work at Desert Rose High School.
What's Desert Rose?
High school.
Huh?
High school.
Just a regular high school?
It's a continuation school where you pick up all your credits from. You know what I'm saying? Like the last chance. Get your stuff together.
Who here has a high school diploma? So Luke, and what grade?
Well, I'm going to receive
Where?
at Dulce.
Okay, where's that?
I think on this side of jail, right? I don't know where that's on.
Okay, huh? Okay.
School like that, Chicago.
So this is now called the call to action. So I know sitting here that everybody should be compelled to say, yeah, I want that too. Because Melvin laid it out very logically, very simplistically, in a good way. If this was in a courtroom, the jury would say, we find for Melvin. Okay? Now, but what always seems to happen is for some reason people say yeah, but then they don't take action.
Okay, so I see you looking at me. What are the?
Well, I'm looking at you because you're talking to me.
I
That's what I'm-
have the packet filled out.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I know where you're going. Now, people confuse, and write this down on your paper, a lack, you're saying you have a lack of resources. Right? You have a lack of resources. Success in life or problems in life, it's not a lack of resources. Resources are the excuse. It's not a lack of resources, it's a lack of resourcefulness. Don't use resources, lack of resources as an excuse for stopping you from accomplishing something. You'll get in this mindset. It's like there's an expression, if your only tool is a hammer, every problem looks like what?
A nail.
A nail. Okay, so if you get in this habit of, I don't have resources, your default mode is going to be, don't blame me, I don't have resources. You need to be resourceful. So to get into SNAP costs $10,000. There's a Southern Nevada Regional Housing Scholarship for $4,000. That's $6,000.
For a year?
Huh?
Is that this place?
Yeah, there's a scholarship.
Are you guys on the list?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but
Because
there's a $4,000 discount, so it's $6,000.
Okay, because I did ask about that, and I asked Tommy, and I knew that they do offer money. And he told me that there is a list.
Okay, that's a different thing.
Okay.
Okay, that's different. So it's $6,000. We know nobody has $6,000, and their families are not going to write a check. And SNAP is not free; it's debt free. But to start SNAP, you gotta have $2,000. And we know nobody has $2,000. When you're at SNAP,
Yeah.
one of the things you get is a job. And room and board. The room and board costs $6,000, so it's $12,000. But this job is going to generate $10,000. So you're $2,000 short. Nobody has $2,000. Okay, nobody's parents want to finance the $2,000. So at SNAP, to start SNAP, it takes $100. And anybody who's resourceful can find a way to work and generate $100. When you enroll in SNAP, you get the job. And you just have to have $75 a week out of your $300. $75 a week, go to accumulate this. When this is accumulated, then you get to start here.
How long would it take to accumulate that if you're paying 75?
6 months.
6 months?
Yeah. Now, some people say, I'm living at home. I'll do 150 a week. Then it's down to 3. Some people say, oh, they have the whole amount go towards it. But my point is this. You don't have resources, it's resourcefulness. There is no legitimate excuse to not do that. Now, you know, part of the reason Melvin is here, we want everybody to say, I want to get started with Melvin. Because Melvin can get ETPL funding for you to go to school. And when you're there, your mind will change to say $100. I can go get $100. I can figure out how to work one day and come up with $100. I can do that. Yeah.
And can I say too, when you sign up, you're not gonna have no excuse for the $100. I'm gonna throw opportunities in front of you to make $100. So, and then at that point, it's like, okay, well, I'm not into handouts, but if you're willing to work, you're gonna have opportunities to generate $100 so you can get into school.
Okay. So what it's coming down to is, there's not any excuse to do this. It's a decision. You have to make this decision is, when do you want to decide you want to change your life? Okay, as Melvin said, everybody has an opportunity to become a millionaire. This really is the way to do it. Not because I said it, not because Melvin said it, but really kind of because Nolan Bushnell said it. And he's done it twice. He did it with Pong, Atari, and he did it with Chuck E. Cheese, and he's going to do it with this. Because he looked at all of the problems with the system today and said, it's too expensive. Is $100 too expensive? No. Is having no debt too expensive? No. $6,000? The statistic right now, here's the statistics right now. All people start high school, what percentage graduate in Clark County?
60.
70. They're saying, yay, this Clark County School District saying 70% of the people who start school here, 70% graduate. What percent go on to college?
30.
No, 55%. It's not 55% of the people who started high school, it's 55% of this 70%. So what would 50% of 70% be?
30.
35. Plus add another 3.5, because it's 55%. So about 40% of the people who start high school even start college. According to UNLV, after 6 years, 39% of the 55% actually graduate. And if you go on UNLV's website, their cost calculator says if you want to go to UNLV and live at home, it's going to cost $16,000 per year with everything. Not going to college is not just tuition, It's not just tuition registration, it's not just tuition registration and books. It's parking, it's lunch, it's this, it's that. And on their website, it says it's 16,000. So if you're one of the lucky 39% of this number, that number, which is about 15% of the people who start high school graduate from UNLV after 6 years. And as Melvin said, or implied, most of those people end up getting a degree in something they will never ever do. But if you're one of these 15% of people who started high school and you have your diploma, on UNLV's website, you will have spent 16,000 times 6 years, $96,000. Or you'll be in debt. Now, if you did SNAP for 1 year, and you were working for 5 years pursuing your dream, becoming a resourceful person, where do you think you would be 5 years? Where would you want to be? This guy, I just graduated from UNLV, I got a psychology degree. Yeah, I owe 96,000, I'm an indentured servant. I got to spend the next 20 years paying that back. Or would you want to be this guy, who's either been working 5 years for somebody, or has their own business? Huh? Okay, so what is stopping you? Who's your caseworker here?
Tommy.
Okay, what is stopping you from saying to Tommy, I want to get into Melvin's program?
I just got here.
That's not an excuse. Okay? They have money to send people to school, not SNAP. So that thing that you were thinking of here,
Yeah.
that's not SNAP. SNAP doesn't take any government ETPO thing. That's not SNAP. SNAP is a thing that says we're a for-profit business. But they are given money by the government to send people to school. And Melvin does a campus for Larson, which is the prep for SNAP. So you get these skills so you can be successful here. Because as Melvin pointed out, you can't be successful here if you do these things. If you don't do these things, you can't be successful. This place will pay you, not pay you, they'll pay for you to learn this. And I'll tell you, when you get in the habit of thinking somebody has to give you something, or you get in the habit of thinking, I can't do it because I don't have resources, it gets easy for that to become your default mode. It's like when you go in the service, you join the service, what's the first thing they have you do? Where do you go first? Basic training boot camp. Why? They break you down and they build you back up. Does anybody not think that if they spent 8 weeks with Melvin, they would come out much better? What do you think?
I think how much better.
Yeah. What about you? How about you? You want to jump in and have somebody at the downtown project hire you, right? Zappos, Tony Shea, that area, right?
What's that?
You want to have one of the companies in the downtown project, Tony Shea's companies, hire you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think you'd be better if you had more skills?
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna get some work experience first
Like what kind of work experience?
in the IT field.
Okay, well, so what Doreen is asking me is to get you a job down there.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay, and do you think that would really be better than being prepared?
Just getting thrown in, like, I would enjoy that, but I'm not sure if that would.
Well, okay, so you got to, step outside yourself and think about it and say, how would I want to get somebody that was better prepared or less prepared? Now, there's 3 stages in life. I'm going to close on this, and then we're going to really kind of put a little bit of pressure on people. There are 3 stages in life. So when I got my undergraduate degree at a good university in California, my finance class, my undergraduate degree was in finance, which is not accounting. There's 3 stages in life. What's one of them? What's the first stage, Luke? I think we went through this.
Can you repeat that?
There's 3 stages in life. 3 stages in life. What's the first stage? Learning. Write these down. Learning. Learning is the first stage in life. That's why you go to the school. Okay, what's the second stage? No. Earning. Earning. That's the second stage. The better you do in the first stage, the better you're going to do in the second stage. And that includes this stuff here. What's the third stage in life? Yearning. Yearning is the third stage in life. And if you didn't do well in the second stage in life, guess what stage 3 is going to feel like? Huh?
You said you didn't do good in the second stage?
Yeah.
Failure.
It's not going to feel good. It's not going to be good if you hope when you're 70 you can get a job as a greeter at Walmart. I can guarantee you, I can promise you that you're going to say, when I was 7 years old, I never pictured that I would be doing this when I was 70. If I'm not a greeter at Walmart, life is really bad. I thought my grandkids were going to be taken care of at the age of 70. But they all left. They did something else. So this is your opportunity. You can keep coming back week after week, and I'm going to say the same thing, right? Right, Luke? I'm going to say the same thing every week. And there's always a couple of people, like Devin, who signed up.
But in my defense, you told me not to come to Snap.
Well, I say that to everybody. Don't start Snap unless you're ready.
But you told me with my career choice, I did Snap.
Well, your career choice of becoming a, what was it, dental hygienist?
No.
What was it?
Eventually a pediatrician, but right now medical assistant for violence.
Okay. So I want to be clear. If you are going to college for a STEM subject, what's STEM?
Science,
Science, technology,
engineering,
engineering, and math. If you're going for that, that's okay. If that's what you're really committed to doing. And I say, then you don't need to have SNAP because you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be whatever. But you need to get on with doing it. So we're going to take you out. I'm not talking about in defense of you. But for everyone else, if you're not planning to go to school to be in the medical field, what you really need to do is get them to use the money that they're given, that they want to spend, and they like Melvin, and I think you know why, to get these things. So a year from now, you're not sitting here saying, I don't have resources. The whole world looks completely different. But you have to take the opportunity. And the good news is, you can always quit. Right? You can always quit if it's too hard. So what really we want you to do is go to your caseworkers and say, you know what? I want to get in that program. So what's holding you back? Huh?
What do you mean?
What's holding you back from going to your caseworker and saying, I want to get in Melvin's program?
Nothing.
Good answer. What about you? And don't say, I just got
Nothing.
Okay? No, really.
Nothing.
Because it's easy. Our brains do what we tell them to do. If we have a thought that says, you know what, I can't do it, and I'm not blaming you, this is how everybody acts. It's like people don't walk in and say, I'm going to make you money. They don't walk in and do that. But if your brain is in this habit of saying, there's something stopping me from doing it, so it's okay if I don't do it. I don't have $100, so I'm not going to do it. If somebody put a gun to your head and said, here's your choice, you go get $100 and you get a bullet, are you going to think differently?
Yeah.
Are you just going to say, well, I can't do it, I don't have $100.
I'm gonna get that.
Goodbye, cruel world, right? You know, a test they do with people is, imagine there's these two buildings and there's a girder going across them. 6-inch girder, steel beam. And you have to walk across that girder to the other side.
I have a quick question.
Wait, what would you walk across that girder for? No, what would cause you to do it? Because if you make a mistake, you're gonna fall off and die.
Right.
Most people would say, I'm not gonna do it. So one thing would be fire, if you thought you were gonna burn up. But what's another thing? What's a positive thing that most people will cross that girder for?
An obscene amount of money.
No.
And the
For their family, for their loved
and
ones,
the
for their children. If somebody had your kid on the other side of that thing, holding him by the arm saying, you walk across that girder or I drop your kid, how long is it gonna take you to walk across that girder?
somebody gonna fly.
You're gonna fly across it. You're gonna do it.
You're gonna learn today.
But you're not necessarily gonna do it with money because you're gonna say, I can live without money.
Yeah.
But I will sacrifice myself to save my kids and my family, and that's a good thing. This is how you need to look at the opportunity that they are giving you by asking you to come in and come in here, is they have money for programs for education. As Melvin said in the very beginning, we are at a point in history where there is no reason everybody can't achieve their financial goals, whatever amount of money you want to have. We're at that point, but you need to know certain things to do it. Desire is not enough. Yeah.
Okay, so my question was,
Yeah.
you said for his program, which is the 5 things, right? This place will fund it.
Correct.
So that means for your program, we only need $100 to start, which means we could be saving that $100 or whatever money as we're at his program to
Yeah.
get to yours.
But what Melvin is going to say, what he said 15 times, what Melvin said 15 times is, this is what you need, but you can't get there without this.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you would go there, and while you're there, if you were like, thinking you're going there, you can save money to go there while you're here.
While you're here,
Right.
you don't go here.
No,
Go
you
here
save
first.
money for that.
Oh, you
put the
can.
money
Oh,
aside
you
for
can
it.
save. I
You
thought
don't
you
have to
meant.
pay
I
for
thought
that.
you meant by save. I thought you meant instead of doing this, I'm going to save money and do
Oh,
that.
no, I mean like a smart
Good
way,
point.
because you need the
You're right.
money, you can
Excellent
save it
point.
while you're there.
Last question.
Okay, so my thing was, because I have the $100, I can put in the application and do all this thing. Now, I do want to do this, go through him so I can be prepared to go into there.
Yeah.
But I need the 2,000 in order to start taking the classes, which I'm gonna be there for 6 months. The program's only 9 months, so I could probably get the 2,000 before the 6 months because I do have a second job.
Good.
But my thing is, with my situation, I'm homeless, so with the whole housing, the room and board, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do I pay the $100 and I get housed, room
No.
and board? Okay.
No.
So there is obstacles that are in my way that I would
No.
have
Well,
to get over.
okay, so yeah, there's always obstacles in
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to give you the last secret of life. If you want to be happy, have low expectations. Don't expect anything from anybody. Have low expectations because nobody's going to ever disappoint you. Okay, if you want to be happy, this is scientifically proven. TED Talk, Barry Schwartz, TED Talk. Go on there. Secret of happiness. Have low expectations. When somebody disappoints you, you're not disappointed because you expected it. If you want your life to have meaning, you need to try to achieve things that you don't think you can do. You need to be prepared for setbacks and challenges. And you need to have the tools to be resourceful.
I mean, I am being resourceful.
You have talent. We generally can't see the talent we have. Here's how we see ourselves. Here's how other people see us, and here's how we really are. These things look a lot different. Most people think they don't have as much talent as they actually do. And most people don't present themselves well. So they are here. Most people see them as here because they don't have these things that Melvin is talking about. Other people perceive you less than you perceive yourself. But the reality is this is the talent that you have. When they have people doing these survival things, you have a coach who's on a thing, there's a TV show about that. They have people, a lot of people want to give up. And the coach on the thing on their headset saying, look, you have no idea what the human body is capable of enduring. It's mentally the thing that get people to quit. You know, they'll say, okay, I'm really thirsty. Oh, there's a puddle of water there. Well, there's polywogs swimming in it. So what? Drink it. No, I'll quit. I'd rather quit than drink that, is the attitude people have. So my thing, Julian, is do this, because if you don't, the probability, back to what Melvin is saying, the probability is if you don't do this and have coaching, have structure, do this, the probability is next year, you're not going to be much further ahead than you are this year. And there's a high probability you might meet the wrong kind of people and do things that are going to set you back.
Yeah. Sure.
And when you screw up in places like this, and you get on their secret list, the people that burn them, do you think they give you a second chance? No. That's their secret list. They won't admit it. But it's the reality because of their money. But anyway, so it's time to wrap this up. I think we're a little bit over. Nope, good. We're not a little bit over. But even though you just started, you should still follow Melvin and try to get in that program. And it doesn't matter what you're thinking that your plan is. You should do that. You should do it. And if you have to work a little bit extra, so what?
Yeah. Oh, I love to work.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going back to school, right? But I saw you resonating with a lot of things that Melvin was saying, which to me meant you see your future. Why wait? You can be the poster child for SNAP next school year because no one wants to have people in high schools that are going to the high schools to get people into SNAP that are seniors before they get out of school. In other words, before it's too late. So when they graduate, or they don't graduate next year at this time, they already have a plan. You could be making money while you're in high school through SNAP by getting other people in the program. Okay? You want to jump into work because you've got a couple certificates. Okay? Now, do you have a situation where you need to go make money because you got to pay your own bills, or you live at home?
Yeah.
Which? Okay, you don't live at home. You don't have a family support. Okay, so Melvin might have an idea about this. My thing is, there's great opportunities with Tony Sheen, the Downtown Project, but once they perceive you as something, you're kind of locked in. And I say that because our school for 2 years was in the Downtown Project. And all of the cool people, the Tony Shea cool people, all the companies, the 90 companies he funded would be around there. And we would see what they were like. You're not ready for that right now. Okay? But it's kind of like you get stereotyped. You're either a cool person, or as Melvin would say, you're a boss or you're a worker. You're not really a boss if people perceive you as a worker, even if you might be the boss. Perception. Perception is people's reality. Power perceived is power achieved. So, you know, Melvin might have some ideas or some plans that you can do what you want to do. You can make money, but you can also take advantage of Melvin's program and get involved in SNAP, because observing you here today, you could be a good employee. You could be a very good employee. I don't know whether you can own your own business, and that's not a value judgment. I just haven't spent enough time. I haven't asked you certain questions. But I know that you could be a good employee. You're focused on what you're saying. You're paying attention. You can articulate answers to questions. You have a level of confidence. But on the other hand, you know, some of these questions you weren't really prepared for. right? Do you see if you spend time with Melvin, you could be better?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, what I would like is everybody to have this attitude of resourcefulness. It's not resources, it's resourcefulness. If you're smart enough and determined enough, you can always find a way to overcome a problem and not have an attitude of, why should we hire you? Because I really need a job, is not what people are interested in. They're interested in what? What?
Saving money and saving money.
Yeah. Now, I didn't say both. Well, I didn't say I can make you money and save you money, because that gets people a little bit confused. Like, how can you do both? Pick one. And as Melvin pointed out, usually if you're making the money, you're probably saving the money too. But there are some jobs, like if you went in for an accounting position, if you said, I'm going to make you money, that might be scary. Right? For an accountant to say, I'm going to make you money. Okay, but if an accountant walks in and says, I'm going to save you more money than anyone else, because I know accounting, I'm going to save you, I can find, how are you going to do that? Well, because I'm going to find the holes in the system here. I'm going to plug them, and I'm going to patch those holes, and we're not going to be draining money. Oh, cool. How are you going to do that? I didn't even tell them. So anyway, I want to close with this. Now is the time, Melvin is here, now is the time to really focus and say to your caseworker here, this is something I want to do. And Melvin can take the ball from there. And then you just have to be committed, because they have to give the money to somebody or they don't get it next year. This retraining money, yeah.
Okay, so would you recommend Melvin's program for me, even if I don't need SNAP?
Oh, yeah,
Okay. I was just asking.
absolutely. Good. That's a good question. That's a good question. I always recommend Melvin's program, especially after he laid it out so well, so simple, so compelling today. I'm thinking, how can I get Melvin into the prison and talk to these guys in the prison? Because they all think nobody's going to tell them what to do.
Exactly.
Okay, with that, we're going to end. It's time. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Yeah. I'm getting new cars next week.